feels like the page is staring back at me. In fact, at this point, it probably is. My gaze drifts from the journal to the window by the entrance. Marina is outside, trilling the payphone's cord as she pops in another quarter. She bites her lips and looks through the window. Our eyes meet. She sends me a small, anxious wave. Closing the book, I let out a yawn and remove my head from my fist. I'm sure there's a red imprint on my cheek. Figuring out we had to go to Shiprock was the easy part. Everything else has been a gigantic pain in the ass. There's a rush of precious cold air getting sucked from the building. Marina enters, carefully shutting the door and taking the seat opposite me in the booth. So, how'd it go? It went fine, I guess. Your parents okay with all this? Maybe not okay. A smile creeps onto her face. But they understand. At least someone gets it, because I still don't. They weren't happy about the car, though. I think you were the only person who was. Strange enough, she didn't mind at all. Like, you know, that was her vehicle, her way of transportation. But now, she probably thinks like, now I can depend. Or now Amber's actually forced to hang around with me more, right? Because before, Amber's plan was at least to get rid of Marina. Well, rid is probably kind of a harsh term. But, you know, to kind of, for them to split ways. Amber's plan was, we'll get gas for your car and then you can, you know, go on your own with your own car. Oh shit, the car was stolen. Well, alright, I guess I'll take you a little bit on the first treasure before I'll take you home. And I was just like, yeah, she's kind of their almost forced being together, but I'm pretty sure Marina doesn't mind at all. Amber, little bit, for now at least. How couldn't I be? Maria showed us that the treasure is real. You're going to believe the people who stole your car? It was an accident. They didn't mean to. Besides, they're nice. Okay, I think you and I have a different definition of the word nice, Marina. They didn't seem nice. They were alright, but nice people are nice, I guess. Wow, that's the worst way to explain it, but you know, nice, I don't know, nice people are, they just give the vibe. You get that vibe from them immediately. They're like, oh yeah, this person is nice. I didn't really get that from them. Definitely not from Maria. From Joe, maybe a little bit, but the little girl, she was alright. She was pretty cool. She seemed, even though she seems like almost dead inside, but I would say that she was the nicest one out of the three. But yeah, overall, I wouldn't describe them as nice. Before I can argue further, our waitress emerges from the kitchen, carrying our order, a hot black coffee for me, a milkshake for Marina, and a large order of fries for both of us. Marina's eyes brighten at the sight of the shake. Like with the slushy, her sweet tooth takes control of her, and she practically starts drooling over the glass. And with a nod, the waitress disappears back into the kitchen. Thanks for the food, by the way. Well, it's not like I really had a choice. I could hear your stomach from the driver's seat. I wasn't about to let you starve to death on my watch. Plus, I was getting pretty hungry too. Amazingly, Marina didn't freak out at the sight of the diner, like she has at everything else so far. I was genuinely shocked when I didn't hear a gasp of awe escape from her mouth as we pulled up. Hey, Amber, why don't you get a shake too? Coffee and fries don't really go together, don't you think? I'm fine. I don't really like sweet things. But it's super good, especially when you dip your fries in it. Oh my god, don't do that, Marina. That's weird. In your what? In your milkshake, you dip your fries in milkshake? Please tell me nobody else does that. Does anybody here do that? That's a bit weird, isn't it? I mean, it could be one of those things again, you know, where the least expected combination of food together actually tastes good. But still, ordering milkshake just for the sake of dipping your fries into it? I don't know. I mean, it seems fitting for Marina, I guess. It's just something I personally definitely would not do. She takes several of the fries and does just that, dipping them in the shake like it was ketchup or mustard. That's silly. I can do the same thing with my oh my god. Taking a fry, I dunk it into my coffee and take a bite out of it, though please tell me that's not delicious. That was a bad idea. Oh my god, that's like bitter fries, right? Oh. Grimacing, I placed the rest of the fry on my napkin as I tried to cope with the cold chill and sulfury aftertaste. Maybe it would work better if you put creamer in it. Somehow, I doubt that. Besides, it would just ruin the coffee. I don't know how you can even drink it without cream, or at least a little sugar. It's so bitter. It's an acquired taste. You find flavor in the bitterness. That's why I think it's weird that you drink something like that. Luckily, I can't chime in this conversation at all because I don't drink coffee at all. How do you mean? I don't know. Her brow furrows in deep thought. You always seem so yes or no about stuff. If you like something, then you do. If you don't like something, then you don't. You're losing me, Mare. What did Mom used to tell us when we didn't listen to her? How do I know? Oh yeah. Basically, you have a really thick head, Amber. I nearly spit the coffee out of my mouth. Gee, thanks. Or was it a thick skull? Whatever, you know what I mean, right? I think so, maybe. It wasn't really an acquired taste for me, now that I think about it. Maybe I've always liked the bitterness. Or maybe I just convinced myself that I did. I don't know. Is that a bad thing? Just like in Maria's RV, Marina shakes her head and gives me a sweet, genuine smile. I don't think so. I actually really like it. It reminds me of Shiprock. A warm, tickling sensation bubbles up in my chest. It forces me to smile, but I play it off all cool and breezy like. Heh, I remind you of a rock? You shouldn't say that kind of thing. People might think they're insults. Satisfied with how I played that off, I reach for a fry to reward myself, but instead of hot, crispy goodness, something smooth brushes against my fingertips. I gaze down at the plate of fries. Marina's hand, for a split second, rests below mine. Ooh. Oh, look at both of them blushing at the moment of, unexpected hand-to-hand contact. Oh my god, this is like the typical scenes in a movie where, where a person tries to reach for something and the other one too, and then unknowingly they brush hands against each other, and then, oh, they both jerk their hands back so fast because they didn't expect it, and like, ooh, her hand was so soft and smooth. We instinctively snap back. Marina's face is a bright shade of pink, and mine is probably similar. Sorry. The room feels 10 degrees hotter. We try to re-establish eye contact, but our glances shoot off in the other directions as soon as we meet. Uh-oh. Things are going to get awkward. Hey, Amber, although I feel like Marina isn't a person that would let that awkwardness get to her, I managed to compose myself long enough to look back. You said something about bills and expenses last night, right? I don't know what you exactly meant by that, or what it is you have to pay off, but since we know the treasure is real now, I was wondering, oh god. I mean, it could be an actual motivation for Amber to at least, be a little bit less skeptical about this treasure. I mean, it still seems far-fetched, that there's this treasure out there, and even if the treasure is out there, considering what we saw before with like the hordes of people looking around at the same place for this gold/treasure as well, it seems kind of a long shot that we would end up finding the treasure. But even if by some miracle Amber does at least partially believe that the treasure is out there, this could be a reason for her to actually, try and find the treasure as well and help Marina.
Maybe you might think about sticking around to look with me. We could even split it or something.
Oh, well, first off, we don't even know if the treasure's actually real. Marina could be pulling our legs. My coffee is mostly gone. All that's left is a puddle and a few stray grounds. I'll think about it though.
Really?
I only said I would think about it. Don't get too excited just yet.
I won't. I just think it would be super cool.
Marina flops her chin down and rests on the table.
How's it going anyway? Have you figured out where the first part of the treasure might be?
It's kind of funny that Marina is the person, that's the most interested in the treasure, yet Amber is the one that's doing like all the research and looking up like where the treasure actually would be. No luck. It's not like the guy drew a map or anything. He just jotted down some details about the places he went to. That, and rambling about how awesome he was.
Do you think Maria was right, and he hit it on top of old Shippy?
Don't listen to Maria, okay? She doesn't know what she's talking about. Think about it. How would he even scale the mountain? He was traveling solo on horseback. I doubt he would have the tools to do it. And even if he did, I'm pretty sure he would have gone on and on about it in his journal. With a puppy dog whine, Marina frowns.
Are you sure he didn't mention anything else? Maybe something we didn't catch.
I slide the book across the table and over the leftover crumbs, stretching out my stiff joints as I rest against the booth. Take a look if you want. My eyes are gonna start bleeding if I read it again. The only things he really mentioned are the rocks and the dikes around it.
Oh!
Marina forces herself to stare down at the plate, the blush from earlier reappearing. Oh, it's the special plate. Oh? Oh! No, not like that. I stifle a giggle. Teasing her is gonna be a blast. I mean the rocks that branch out from the mountains. That's what they're called. Huh? It's so simple, but it makes sense. I shoot up and throw down some money. Marina jumps at the sound of the table. What the fuck is happening with my voice? Marina, what the fuck? Marina jumps up at the sound of the table rattling. That's more like it. It sounds like I swallowed a frog or something. Isn't that a saying or something from a fairy tale? Probably is. Or isn't. I just made that up.
What's the matter? Did you figure out where it is?
Maybe. At least the general area. It definitely looked like, some light bulb appeared above Amber's head. I march towards the door. The table rattles again as Marina leaps up. She stays behind to straighten it out before scrambling to catch up with me.
We're going now?
Hell no. We don't have any equipment. But we know someone who does. I shove the door open. The last bastion between refreshing air and burning, dry heat. Come on, let's go cash in a favor.
It sure was nice for Maria and her friends to let us use some of their equipment.
Only after that Joseph guy begged her to. I paused to look around. We decided to wait until nightfall to go look around some more. It's like an entirely different world the further you get from the insanity. Quiet and calm. The only lights are the stars and the faint glow of the campground, the campers and motorhomes flickering in the distance. Marina fiddles with her metal detector's headphones. So they actually are using a metal detector? Okay. Removing them halfway.
Sorry, the beeping is loud. What was that?
Forget it. I'm not playing that game. Just keep listening.
Oh!
Did you find something?
I think so. It's over here.
I set aside my shovel and throw myself to the ground, clawing at the sand. A shiny speck sticks out of the ground. Frantically, I dig it up.
Is it the gold? It's...
I scrape hard. It probably just ends up being like some really old, 1,000-year-old dog poo or something.
It's...
Harder. It's... Finally, I unearth it and hold it up to the starlight. A soda tab. Ah, damn it! This is the 5th one!
If we find any more, we could start making a curtain out of them.
I send the tab flying, speeding off over the dikes.
Maybe we should call it a night. I'm sure we can find it once we're fresh in the morning.
Nah, that's no good. We can only do it now because Park and Recreation isn't paying as much attention. Though even now, someone is still guarding the area near the campground. The rocks give us some cover, so I don't think we'll be spotted, but we still need to be careful. We'll keep looking for a little while. If we can't find anything, we might want to assume the worst. Her face wrenches with hopelessness.
That somebody else found it?
That it doesn't exist. Jeez, it's like you never even considered that it might not be real.
But Maria...
Yeah, I know. I grab my shovel and swing it back over my shoulder. As we walk, we stay as close to the mountain range as possible. Why are you so gung-ho about this anyway? If you're just in it for the cash, there are better ways to make money than dragging yourself around the desert.
Oh no, it's nothing like that. It's just...
Her voice trails off. It hangs over us, never fully evaporating into the cool night air. It's okay. Don't feel like you have to tell me. We both have things we don't want to talk about. That's becoming very clear. At least Marina doesn't swerve off the road so she can go pout. I just don't want to think about it. All I've been doing for the last month is thinking about it. I almost wish my brain would quit working so I wouldn't have to. So naturally, I take a long, lonely trip with nothing to do except think.
Amber, it's happening again.
Marina stops, hands quivering as she tightens her grip. I swear, this is gonna be another soda tab.
I don't think it is. The beeping is really loud, and it's vibrating a lot.
Wait, it's vibrating?
Uh-huh. It feels weird.
The metal detector hovers over the ground between the rock and the sand. I thrust my shovel into the spot, the metal scraping against the edge of the dike. Planting my foot on the shovel's head, I drive it further into the ground, using every ounce of my strength to dig. The first load of dirt and sand unclenches from the ground, loosening the earth around it. I throw the load aside and repeat the process. Each time, it's a little easier, a little lighter. Finally, the shovel strikes something hard, sending a shocking vibration through my hand. It sends a vibration up the shovel and into my hand, resonating through my entire body.
Bedrock?
I haven't dug that deep. Dropping to my knees, I reach my hands into the hole and brush off the remaining dirt. What is it? Marina leans in. The sound of her anxiously swallowing is barely audible over my heavy breathing. Oh, what is it? My fingers brush against something. I gulp and pull out the hole's contents. A small, rotting wood box. My heart stops. Did we really freaking find something? Trembling, I open the box, the leftover dirt falling into my lap. Gold. Really? What? It exists? It exists! It exists! Marina yells at the top of her lungs. A yell so loud that it bounces off the mountain, echoing off to the horizon and then back again. Marina has been unleashed. Oh my god. Oh no. I mean, this is both good and bad, you know? Good because, well, the gold exists. Bad because now Marina has proven to be right. Uh-oh. Not so loud. They might hear us. She lowers her voice to an excited whisper. channeling her energy into bouncing up and down.
But it exists! I told you it did!
She's right, and despite being proven wrong, I can't help but smile. Here I thought it was gonna be some plastic treasure chest with a coupon for chocolate milk inside of it or something, equally shameless and corporate.
Oh, Amber!
My only warning is a quick gust of wind. Before I even have a chance to brace for it, I'm engulfed by Marina and her hug. What?
It's real! I told you it was! I told you!
I stop for a second, and then smile. Yeah, you were right. It is real.
Should we tell someone? What do we even do now?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Don't tell anyone, okay? I mean, they have the advantage now, right? They actually know it's real. Like, some people are kind of probably like Marina in the fact that they think it might be real, but they have no physical proof of knowing that it's real. But they came here nonetheless to try and find it. But the fact that we found it already means we're like one step ahead of the others, right? So why would we want to inform the others like, the treasure is real, people? And then more people will become interested as well, because then more people will know about it, blah blah blah, decreasing our chances of finding even more gold. So no, we just gotta hush and keep searching. It's getting pretty late though. Let's pack it up for the night. We can think about what to do in the morning. For now, we can just marvel at the fact that it's not bogus. Sound like a plan?
It does, but...
She takes a deep, long breath, inhaling all the air around, and maybe even some of mine, and then releases it all at once.
It's actually really real!
Marina, quiet! They're gonna hear us! Oh... It's really real. We got the treasure. Well, part of the treasure. A thunderous banging wakes me from a dead sleep, rattling the entire motorhome. Hey! I know you two are in there! You thieves better still not be sleeping! The muffled shout leaks in from outside, followed by another voice.
Sis, it's not even 7. Can I go back to bed?
And another voice. You're better off just rolling with it. For her, it may as well be noon.
Open up or I swear Joe's gonna bust this door down.
Wait, what? Gee, I wonder who this could be. Yeah, I have no idea. The tough tomboy trio. I roll out of my bed and open the slider connecting to the other rooms. Marina is sitting up pressed against the back of the fold-out bed with the sheets over her head.
Who do you think it is?
Take a wild guess. I march over and throw open the door, and as expected, my 3 favorite people stand before me.
It's about time. Do you have any idea how long we've been out here?
A groggy Tess sways from side to side. Joseph's gentle hands are the only thing preventing her from passing out on the ground. It's funny that you, of all people, accuse us of theft.
What else would you call what happened to my equipment?
I don't know. Borrowing? You loaned it to us, remember?
Correction, Joe loaned it to you.
Joseph gives a tired smirk and a wave.
I was forced to sit idly by and watch you make off with it. That's theft if I've ever seen it.
She pushes me aside and clambers into the motorhome, followed by the other 2. Looks like we're coming in.
Good morning. Hey, you 3. Morning. How are you guys doing?
Tired. For what it's worth, we tried stopping her. Maria stomps to the middle of the motorhome, analyzing everything before releasing a loud scoff.
So, where's my stuff?
If you don't get out of my RV in 5 seconds, it'll be shoved up your ass.
Don't worry about it. You guys are great. Hey, Tess, did you hang up your new wind chime?
Tess's eyes flicker with interest for all of a second, then return to their obstinate, droopy state.
Above my bed.
What's up with the fold-out? You two don't sleep together? What? She already thought that we were together? Did she really think that? Told ya! Damn it, did they bet on this? Grumbling, Maria pulls a bill from her pocket and slaps it in Joe's hand. They actually bet on the fact of whether we were together or not. Or whether we were a couple.
Does that mean we get to sleep in tomorrow morning?
Sure does, kiddo. Sure does. The ringleader of the circus returns to inspecting the motorhome, fiddling with the magnets on the fridge. Anyway, give me back my equipment, and we'll get out of your hair. Come on, just let them use it. It's the least we can do after tearing apart a car. Maria's attention turns to the counter, topped with the open box of stunning gold nuggets from the night before. No! We should have hidden it! Uh-oh. And whose fault was that? What is this? What is what? The thing on the counter. It almost looks like... Oh, that? Don't tell them, Marina. Don't tell them. Just tell them it's a poo nugget. I don't fucking know. That's the piece of the treasure we found. She said it. God dang it, she said it. Ha! Yeah, right. You're kidding. She chuckles. She stops. She is kidding, right? I have a devious thought, and crack an equally devious smile. Nope, she's telling the truth. 100%. Look at her face. She's like, oh yeah, suck on that, Maria. We got the treasure before you, and you were so-called professional treasure hunters or whatever. I wrap my arm around Maria and bring her close. Joseph and Tess shoot each other alarmed glances. We found it last night, with your equipment. She stands there, stupefied. No, that's impossible. You're lying. Really now? Hey, Marina, why don't you tell her about it?
Sure thing. It started yesterday after we met. Abba looked at the journal again and thought that it might be near the smaller rocks behind the bigger ones. They're called dikes, I think. Anyway, turns out she was right.
Maria looks down, muttering to herself, uh-oh. But how? Why wouldn't he just hide it in the mountain?
It doesn't make sense. If he was going back to Missouri.
Her voice diminishes until her words are reduced to lip flaps. Like a mad scientist trying to figure out a complex equation, she retreats into her own little world.
Maria?
A smidge of sympathy buzzes inside me. I look to Joseph and Tess, and they look a little shocked. They're like, of course, they're so like, what the fuck? We got beaten by amateurs? We're even worse than amateurs. We're fucking noobs, okay, at this. And we found a part of the treasure before them. Is she gonna be okay? I honestly don't know. Tess approaches Maria, who is still whispering nonsense under her breath. Nonchalantly, Tess hops in front of her, her hand reaching upwards, trying to wave it in front of Maria and to bring her back to our world. No response. Tess pulls Maria's arms skyward, then allows them to flop down to her side. Still no response. Uh-oh. I feel like at some point she's just gonna flip and then take the treasure and then run off with it. You know, we've been looking into that treasure since we were kids. Joseph steps up to the counter and stares into the box. Oh, come on. We gotta protect the box. I'm sorry, yeah? I mean, fair enough. They're kind of nice. I wouldn't classify them as entirely nice, but they're kind of okay. Especially Joseph. Joseph seems okay. It's because, you know, he convinced her. I mean, you could definitely tell. Joseph felt guilty about, you know, tearing apart Marina's car. Maria, not so much. And then Tess is just kind of, she's very neutral. So, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, you have the good, neutral, and bad. I almost feel it's kind of like that. But you gotta keep a close eye on the bad. So, you know, we gotta protect our box that we found. Never expected someone else to find it before us. That's more than I can say. I didn't even think it existed. There's that too. He sighs, then with a shrug, cracks a smile. Heh, well, good job anyway. You ladies seem cool. So, if it couldn't be us, then at least it was you. See, Joseph is pretty nice, yeah. Okay, Joseph is nice for sure.
You guys want to stick around? We could tell you more about it.
He looks at Maria. Somehow, I don't think that will be healthy for her, or for you. He grabs Maria by the shoulders and begins pushing her towards the exit. Come on, Maria, let's go make you a nice cold michelada. You two can keep the equipment. Think of it as an apology gift. Because cheaply made tools I could get at any hardware store are equal value to a car. They're almost out of the motorhome when Maria flips and rushes back. Hold on a minute, thief! She looks me straight in the eyes, her expression returning to that of a piercing hawk. You just had beginner's luck. You might have found the first piece, but I promise you, me and my team will find the rest. She extends a hand and smirks. Uh-oh, is this the beginning of a brewing rivalry? It sure seems like it. I pause for a moment, then grab it and offer a smirk of my own. You're on. Marina and Joseph both let out a sigh of relief, as if they've just witnessed the signing of a peace treaty. Well, guess that takes care of that. Now let's go get out of here and go back to a proper base.
Are you going to drink until you feel better again, sis?
Shut up! Did Mom ever teach you any manners?
Mom drank too. You always said Mom is an airheaded ditz who wouldn't know good advice or a good man if it bit her on the butt.
Oh yeah. Sorry for all the trouble, ladies. See you two down the road. Joseph pulls the door closed. Marina and I stay put as the bickering of the trio fades into the distance.
Were you serious?
About what?
The treasure. You told Maria that you were gonna find the rest.
Oh, she kinda did, yeah. Maybe, okay, this could be another reason for her to actually... I mean, you know, she actually knows that the treasure is real now. And because of that, I feel like she actually does want to continue, and that is probably the reason why she accepted Maria's challenge in the first place. Besides also, you know, wanting to rub it more in Maria's face, like, ha, we're gonna find more of the treasure.
If you were just being nice and want to leave now, that's fine too. You've already done a lot for me.
She casts her eyes downward to hide her emotions. But I know better by now. And let you keep all the treasure to yourself? Hell no! Her eyes bounce back. Besides, someone's gotta keep you from getting yourself into trouble. May as well be me.
For real? But don't you have the festival to go to?
It's still a little ways away. I wanted to do some sightseeing anyway. Marina launches forward, and before I can sidestep, she tackles me with the force of a gold-filled freight train. I don't even try to resist. It's futile in the grace of Marina's hugs, and you're kinda starting to like it.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
Actually, I probably owe you an apology. She cocks her head back and looks up at me. I look away, my bashful side taking over. Well, you know, I kept saying it wasn't real and stuff.
Hey, don't worry about it. Most people wouldn't even have given me the time of day.
Yeah, but...
Relax. Just figure out where we have to go next.
I smile. We walk to the front of the RV and take our seats. Grabbing the journal from the glove compartment, I flip it open. I glance over the second to last entry. Key phrases like split path, detour, and acres of identical arched stone throw my brain into the deep end, drowning me in dizzying puzzles before I've even fully read it. Marina peeks over, trying to decipher the entries with me. A speck of inadequacy crawls up inside me, and I quickly flip to the next entry before Marina notices I'm stuck. I'll deal with that later. for now, we'll just narrow this down. Much has happened since my last entry, so let me waste no time in beginning. As I mentioned previously, I had begun to develop a cough of sorts during my travel. At the time, I thought nothing of it, just the result of being overexposed to the elements. After all, a handsomely rugged and worldly man such as myself should be used to such things. But I digress. Unfortunately, the more I continued under the blazing sun, the more my condition worsened, until finally my body gave out. The last thing I remember is falling off my steed. Sometime later, I awoke next to a fire, with my horse nearby. I, myself, could not move, as I was held down by illness and sweat, but I was reassured by a man sitting across from me. Upon further inspection, I realized he was native of this land. I had several encounters with the people of his sort during my time on the wagon trail, so naturally, I was suspicious and fearful of the remainder of my gold. However, the man said he had no interest in such things. A dry, quiet fellow, the man told me his name was Lamasi, and that I was in a canyon his people occupied, although they had been driven to a different segment of it some years back. His English was quite fluent, and when I inquired, he said he had learned from settlers as a boy. Over the next several days, Lamasi would nurse me back to health. He would never stray too far, as he preferred looking after his estranged tribe from a distance, but I was able to explore portions of his home. Eventually, I stumbled upon a long ruined home built into a cave on the side of the mountain. According to Lamasi, there are many more like it, though they originally belonged to enemies of his ancestors. It was then that I realized where I would leave the next portion of my bounty. On my last day with him, I informed Lamasi of my plans, where he casually promised to guard it for me until I returned. But before I left, he pointed me in the direction of a sacred landmark, one so giant and huge it would simultaneously be conspicuous and inconspicuous hiding place. And with that knowledge, I bid farewell to my new friend and trusted the gold in his care. Perhaps I will reward him with some of it on my return trip.
You're my Lamasi, Amber!
Suddenly, my chest feels like a hummingbird is fluttering around in it. I shift my eyes away from her and hide my face. Thanks. When you strip away the circumstances, I guess I did save and protect her like that Lamasi guy did with the miner.
A gorge is like a canyon, right?
Marina leans in closer and points to the entry, strands of her soft hair tickling my cheek. I scoot back and power through it, taking a sharp breath to recollect myself. Basically, yeah. Marina nearly springs out of her seat in a burst of realization, her head an inch away from smacking into the ceiling.
Oh my god! Does that mean we get to go to the Grand Canyon? Do we get to go to the Grand Canyon, Amber?
Not unless history decides to rewrite itself. There are lots of canyons with ruins. One of them is the Grand Canyon, but most of them have been cleaned out for hundreds of years. I choke down a groan. Indian ruins aren't exactly rarities around here. Maybe that other entry wasn't so bad after all. So, we're looking for a place that was still being used in the 1850s. Marina hunkers down and thinks with me, wrinkles forming on her forehead as she tries to strain out an answer. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even know where to start. But hey, at least she's trying. Well, there is one place. Marina hardly gets a breath out before I crush her dreams once again. Not the Grand Canyon. Aww. She slinks back into her chair and quietly pouts. It's still in Arizona, but it's a different place. Canyon de Shelly. Canyon de Shelly? The Navajo weren't chased out until 1863, so the timing isn't too screwy. Place is loaded with ruins too. Oh, are they the what? Puebloan? Pueblan ruins. Let's roll with that one. Pueblan. My flow of information stops. She knows what I'm talking about? She can actually pronounce it? I know, right? I'm having so much trouble with it. Yeah. I'm surprised you know that. Someone paid attention in history class.
Yep, I've been reading some of those travel guides lying around. Super interesting.
Those things must be about as old as I am by now. I didn't have the heart to throw them away when I was cleaning everything out. Hey, that's how I did it. It's the best way to learn. Anyway, Canyon de Shelly is pretty damn close to here. She gasps.
So it might have lined up with the route he took.
Well, I can't be 100% positive, but I close my eyes and snap the book shut, the air between the pages puffing out at us. Then, with one eye open, shoot Marina a grin. I'm pretty sure. Arizona's highways are infamously boring. Nothing but hills, up, down, up, down. There's nothing interesting to look at. Both sides of the road are smothered in nondescript shrubs. It's part of the country where you just zone out and drive while on autopilot. When we finally see a sign for the town of Chinle, right next to the canyon, I feel like we're approaching the promised land. Marina looks up from the book she's reading just in time to miss the sign.
Was it that? Are we there yet?
Nah, 40 miles to go still, so about half an hour. She makes a sound like a pop balloon as she goes back to reading. We take an exit in a tiny excuse for a town, one of those places that has a gas station and a few old houses. It's like in Monopoly, where you buy up all the property you can, even though it's not that great. Well, you gotta get what you can get.
This is it?
Marina repeats her earlier question as I slow down to turn left. Nope, almost. I don't even know what this place is called. She makes the pop balloon noise again, but leaves the book closed. How does it even sound like? I don't know, it's kind of like, you know, is it like a deflated balloon, or it pops actually, so it makes a popping sound, right? So it's like when you hold a needle against the balloon, like boom. I don't know. I'm bad at making sound effects. We finally reach Chinle. It's pretty obvious. This is the first real town we've seen in hours. The outskirts are industrial, dominated by what I assume are factories. A pair of stray dogs lope along the side of the road, hungry and lean. Marina makes a sound of sympathy, pressing her face against the glass as we pass them. Hey, Amber! Oh, no, we are not taking a stray dog with us. We're not getting a dog!
But they're so cute! And we could dress him up in a bandana, and...
No way! I've never gotten why people want to dress their pets up like people. I don't understand that either. Honestly, like, okay. Sometimes, like 1 out of the 99 occasions, it does look cute. But the other times it actually... I don't know. It just looks weird, okay? Pets aren't supposed to have clothes on in the first place. So, it just looks weird for me. And it's always just, the thing that always comes to mind is just like, do pets really like wearing that? Obviously there's no way for us to know, but still, it always makes me feel like pets actually feel a little bit uncomfortable in it. The thing is, I can understand, okay, one thing that I can understand, if you were to dress up a pet to make pictures for it, then I'm like, okay, at least it's for the purpose of you know, doing like cute photos and a photo shoot of pets, but to have a pet wear or clothes or anything the entire freaking time, I feel like that's when it takes it too far, okay? I've never owned any pets besides a hamster, and I was too little to even think about dressing them up, and who the hell even dresses up hamsters, right? But whenever I see animals or pets in clothes, it always looks to me like they're kind of uncomfortable in it, you know? So that's why I generally don't like it when people dress up their pets.
It's cute!
Marina pouts. I figured she was just joking. She didn't actually think I would let her get a dog, right? It seems that all was forgiven by the time I pull into a gas station. She's bouncing in her seat with her usual enthusiasm. Or maybe it's her bladder. Why not both? My second guess must have been correct, because as soon as I shut off the engine, she darts out of the RV, and into the store. And while she does that, I fuel up. No telling when we'll see the next gas station. Could be 100 miles. And this thing drinks gasoline like a thirsty dog drinks water. By the time I finish, Marina still isn't back, so I lock up and head inside. Ooh. The store is devoid of any other customers. It actually looks really empty. It's unremarkable, with the unusual selection of candy, chips, and overpriced beef jerky. I'm not hungry, I'm just passing time. Soon, Marina trots out of the bathroom. Glancing around, she spots me and heads over. Want anything?
Let's see.
I leave her to agonize over the candy bars while I flip through some of the travel brochures beneath the window. There are a couple about the Canyon de Shelly, which is our destination just up the road. There are flyers for other Arizona attractions too, including the non-local ones. Of course, there are a few brochures for the Grand Canyon, plus a couple of must-see sites in Phoenix, the capital. There's even an ad for a novelty just called The Thing in Tucson. Tucson or Tuscan? Tucson, I think. But that's far out of our way.
Okay, I'm ready.
I turn around. Marina has a couple king-sized candy bars in her hands, and a large bottle of Coke tucked under her arm. Alright, quickly, let's run now, run! You seriously need all that?
I thought we could share.
She gives me her best offended puppy impression. Fine. I still don't want anything, but I can't say no to that. The thing is, you're paying for it, though. Here, I'm gonna go use the bathroom, too. Meet you at the car. I place my wallet atop the pallet of candy she's carrying and send her towards the attendant. When I come back out of the bathroom, Marina's still talking to the clerk. There's a bag in her hands, so she must have already finished paying and gotten distracted talking. Why is she sweating like that? I join the two of them. Closed off, so only the guided tours are open right now. Marina looks like she's seen a ghost. What's up? I take my wallet from where it's just sitting forgotten on the counter.
I was just asking about the canyon and the tours and stuff.
The clerk nods. Yep, I was saying how if you're here to sightsee, you might have some trouble. A lot of it is closed off, because of all the kids coming and causing trouble looking for treasure. Damn, I'm not surprised, but that's frustrating. What isn't closed off? Well, there are some tours you can go on. Most of them, I think, but you can't do the self-guided ones. Marina looks at me, eyes wide. Clearly she's expecting some solution from me. I just smile at the attendant. Got it. Thank you. And lead with a dumbstruck Marina out of the store. As I unlock the RV, Marina prances around me.
What are we gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna take a nap. She stops.
Huh?
I'm tired, so I'm going to take a nap for a little bit. I check one of the pamphlets and there's a tour at 6:30, so we'll just join that and then sneak off.
Like, on our own?
Oh yeah, badass, you know? We gotta be that. I mean, if you're going to be treasure hunters, you can't be treasure hunters without being badass. Those two things just go hand in hand. Yeah. Her eyes go wide again.
Amber, you're a genius!
I twist the lock of my hair around my finger and glance away. Her constant compliments are a little embarrassing, especially for stuff that seems obvious to me. Thanks. It's not much of a plan, though.
Yeah, but at least it's a plan. I thought we were just gonna have to give up or something.
Nah, rules are made to be broken and all that. I feel a bit guilty that we'll be breaking rules specifically put in place because of people like us, but I can safely say that we'll be more careful than the average treasure hunter. Yeah, we're better than the average treasure hunter. We're above average. We're the... What's above average? C plus? Or B minus? I don't know. I don't know much about that particular grading system, as in yours, we just fucking use numbers, you know? But yeah, wake me up at 5:30. Unless you're going to nap too, we can nap together.
And nope, I'm not tired anymore, so I'll just read some more.
Alright, good night.
Night-night.
I leave her up in the front as I head back to my bed and fall into it. After bunching up my blankets around me, it doesn't take long to fall asleep.